Hello everyone, I'm Tony Chen. This is the fourth grammar trick, and we will talk about the complement for a clause or phrase. First, we need to understand what is a function category pair. Like a noun phrase could be acting as the subject for a sentence. So a function is the role an element plays in a sentence structure. A category is what an element is in terms of the 8 categories of words in the dictionary for a sentence. So, interested verb could be acting as the predicator, etc. And this pair is the key element for the syntactic tree diagram we will see in the next 2 pages. So for basic clause or canonical clause, which is the first 8 sentence types, which we have already talked about. And this clause must be started with a capital letter and ended with a period, whereas a sentence must be started with a capital letter and ended with one of these marks. And what is a subordinate clause? Which is a clause embedded inside a main clause or matrix clause. And the predicator is the head of the clause or the head of the verb phrase. Predicate is the verb phrase. And the predicator can license or can determine the structure of the whole clause. And it can determine how many complements and even the subject structure. Can it be a phrase or a subordinate clause? And the complement is always the best friend of the head. For clause, that's the predicator. And for phrase, for example, adjective phrase, the head must be the adjective. And the complement must be the best friend of the adjective. So let's check the following 2 pages for these 2 examples. Whether it rained is the subject. And this verb is the interested verb. So that's the type 1 sentence. And this is a modifier, an adjunct with the PP type, prepositional phrase type. And this sentence is equal to it depends on God whether it will rain, or it depends on God if it will rain. We put the subject at the end of the sentence. And this is using the extrapolar subject construction because the subject is very heavy, so we put it at the end. And this type of construction is much more common. And we will talk about oblique object in the near future. We are on top of the world. It's syntactically equal to we are happy. So this is a prepositional phrase. It's a 4-level prepositional phrase. First level, noun phrase, which is the complement of this preposition. So this is the prepositional phrase acting as the modifier for this noun. So this is a noun phrase acting as the complement for this preposition. So this is the prepositional phrase, a 4th-level phrase. And this is the predicate complement of this type 2 sentence structure. So you can check this, H the head, determiner, and modifier. So a complement could be mandatory or optional. Mandatory, for example, the subject is mandatory, and the object, type 3 sentence object, is mandatory. And this is an adjective phrase. The adjective acting as the head, and the complement could be a to infinitive or a subordinate clause. And another example for the prepositional phrase, and the noun phrase is optional. Out of the window, British style. Out the window, American style. And for type A sentence, off we go, or off the campus we left. So that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it.